The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 264. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey of self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a phenomenal woman on the show today. She is a documentary filmmaker and the founder of Media for Social Change, and she also has an upcoming podcast called The Real Impact, and I'm just excited to have her on and share her story with us on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Shuling Yong. Shuling, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Hi, Sheena. Thanks for having me on today. Well, my name is Shuling Yong. I do documentary films, mainly helping people tell their stories through the power of video. I'm just really passionate about using my skills in film and video for positive change.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Shuling, what's your cultural background?
I was born and raised in Singapore in a Chinese family, a small Chinese family. My parents and my brother, they moved to Singapore from Malaysia. And basically, when I turned 21, I was lucky enough to land a scholarship to study radio, TV, and film at Northwestern University in the US. And I kind of fell in love with documentary film here. So 8 years on, I'm still here in Chicago, still proud to represent Singapore and, still working to make a difference through the power of film and video.
I love it. Thanks for sharing that. And what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
Well, I'll share one that's been close to my heart all through my life. It came at a time where I was feeling extremely stressed. So I had just been awarded this, big scholarship to study anywhere in the world and was suddenly thrust into the media spotlight. So I had journalists and friends and family everywhere. They were sending me congratulations, asking me what I was going to do next. And then I was just feeling all this pressure to, try and give big, impressive answers. And then that feeling of fear would set in. I'd hear voices in my head saying what if I can't live up to all these expectations of me? Or what if I'm just really one big imposter? So I was really afraid of being not good enough. And this quote really helped change my perspective. It was adapted from a passage in a book by Marianne Williamson. So it says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own lights shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others." Powerful stuff.
Thanks for sharing that. And I love that quote. It's a really good one. And, I just love that part where it says, your playing small doesn't serve anybody, which is so true. And, especially growing up, in an Asian culture, it's like we've been told to, not rock the boat, don't do anything too big. And, because it's just, as our parents, they love us. They don't want us to fail as to, we don't want to get, they just don't want to see their kids get hurt. But I mean, in life, we're going to go through challenges. We're going to go through hurdles that our parents cannot protect us from. So, it's okay if we go through these hard times because it's going to make us, bigger and better and be the person that we're meant to be. So, I really love that Marianne Williamson quote. It's just when you're having a bad day, you can go to that and say, I am enough. I am strong. I can go out there and do amazing things. So thanks for sharing that. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
Well, I think self-confidence really starts with awareness. Awareness of your gifts, your talents, your strengths. And then self-confidence can really blossom once you start to consistently put in the work to develop those strengths, until you're prepared to take on the challenges that will come your way.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think awareness is a huge part of confidence, right? If you're not aware of half the things that are going on in your life or why you are where you are today, then you'll never know where to go next or how to grow or become better. And when you realize there's certain situations that happened to you in the past that made you the person that you are today. It'll give you that big, oh my gosh, I can't believe I never saw this, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the next step? So, I think awareness is huge, especially when you're in personal development. That's probably more than half the work. So great definition. And what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
Growing up in Singapore, my parents were never the most expressive of people. There were no hugs, no kisses, no I love yous. They mainly showed their love by like putting an extra piece of chicken on my plate at dinner. And, similarly, when it came to my performance in school and life, they never really said things like, oh, you did such a great job, or I'm so proud of you, or you're such a good leader or runner or musician, right? And because I mentioned a big part of self-confidence stems from positive feedback and reinforcement. I spent a lot of my early years being unaware of all that I was capable of achieving. And all the way till I was 14, I just really blended in with the rest of my classmates. I didn't seek out any leadership roles, didn't challenge myself with extracurricular activities. It was mainly because I didn't think I was good at anything. Yeah, that's kind of what life was like.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think that's something we all can relate. It's just like we want to try something, but sometimes we're afraid because, we never know if we can do something, or we're afraid that we might get laughed at if we make a mistake. Not realizing it's okay to make a mistake because, especially if you've never done it before, you're going to make a mistake, right? Whether it's doing a video or, starting a podcast or even just running, you're going to fall and you just keep on getting back up. And what was that point in your life when you realized, you are more than enough, you can go there and do amazing things and, have that confidence to go out there and do it?
Yeah, I remember, one time when I was 12 years old and I was sitting in my English class, and my teacher, she paused the lesson halfway to gesture to another teacher who was walking by. She asked her to come on over, and the two teachers met at the front door, and they started whispering and looking at me. And I was thinking, oh man, what have I done? Am I in trouble or something? And before I knew it, my teacher, she called my name. My heart started pounding, swallowed hard, and she said, stand up and read page 29 out loud. And I hesitated for a moment, but, like an obedient student, I did as I was told. And when I was done reading that passage, my teacher turned to the teacher who was visiting, and she said, there, told you she speaks well. And at that moment it clicked, I was wondering in my head, wait a minute. Did my English teacher just single me out in front of my entire class to show off my speaking skills to another teacher? Turns out they were looking for a student to MC the upcoming school concert, and I was asked to take the gig. But man, did that moment do wonders for my self-confidence. I was beaming for days, and once I realized that there was something that others could see that I was good at, it went on to shape some of my major decisions that I made in life, like decision to want to become a radio DJ and studying mass communication in Polytechnic. It gave me so much drive to work hard to become the best, and I think that's really what contributed to getting that scholarship to help me come all the way to the US to study at Northwestern.
I think that's amazing, and it's amazing how one person who can believe in you can really change your life. And they can just see that potential in you because sometimes you don't see it in yourself. I go through it too. People tell me all these things and I'm like, I don't know what you see.
Exactly.
Like, I don't get it. Right? And it's great to have people, you surround yourself with who are there to lift you up, especially when you have days where you just feel like you want to eat ice cream and watch Netflix all day. To tell you, like, I believe in you. You have this magic that nobody else has, and you can go out there and do, the most amazing things ever. And, because of that realization, what's your life been like now?
I'm a lot different from that 12-year-old kid in that classroom. Now I take on the attitude of, if it feels scary, do it harder. Because as an adult, no teacher is going to be telling you what you're capable of. You've got to put yourself out there and try new things. Yeah, I'll never forget being part of this thing called the fear experiment. Basically, adults get to choose one art form that scares them. And I chose to do comedy improv because all my life I've had such difficulty just speaking off the top of my head. And the catch was we had to sign up alone. We had to learn with 20 other strangers for 3 months how to do this comedy improv art form and then perform in front of a live audience of 700 people at the end. Yeah, so that was super crazy, but one of the best feelings to have people actually like laughing and enjoying your performance, and then you realizing that, that wasn't so hard after all.
I love it. I think that's an amazing experiment. I mean, especially going up in front of 700 people. I mean, you can just imagine like your heart's pumping. You don't know what to expect. You don't know if people are gonna, enjoy the performance or not. But that's what confidence is all about too. It's just feeling that fear and doing it anyway, and realizing, yeah, it's not as bad as we think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the stories we tell in our heads is just like so crazy that's like it hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
So, I'm glad you're able to, just take fear and just punch it in the face. And, to the woman who is listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey of self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
I'd say do what scares you, because you never know what you'll discover about yourself.
I love it. It's so true. Feel the fear and do it anyway. I mean, I think that's one of the best ways to grow as a person and be stronger. Just to face your fears. And sometimes it just looks really big. It's just like, oh my God, how am I going to tackle this? But really, fear is all in your head. The moment you just take action, it's just that greatest feeling in the world is like, what can I do next? What can I tackle on next? So thanks for that awesome tip. And Shuling, if our listeners want to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, or maybe you want to check out your podcast, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yeah, sure. So if you want to learn a little bit about what I do through film and video, my website is mediaforsocialchange.com. And if you want to check out my upcoming podcast, it's called Real Impact Podcast. That's REEL impactpodcast.com. And of course, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Yong Shuling. That's YONG SHULING.
Thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Shuling, you can also head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Shuling's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I just want to thank Shuling for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Gina. This was great.
Not a problem. It was an honor to have you on the show. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Thanks, bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence. Sign up for our free membership site to get more amazing resources for self-confidence by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.